Welcome everyone. So today we're going to be reviewing the Blackstorm Rising, the new main box that'll be dropping here really in just a couple of days from now. So we're going to wait a few moments here, wait for a few people to drop in because we are doing this, of course, live as we usually do. Sorry for the delay. I wanted to get this out yesterday, just did not get around to it. So we're doing it right now. Just make sure everything is working well. Looks good. All right. Cool. Get ready to be blown away. Rise, Blackwing Dragon. Get ready to be blown away. More like the worst asynchro signer dragon in the game. Alright, so we got some recommended cards here. Blackwing Dragon, Breaker the Magical Warrior, Cards of Consonance, Drag Unity, Knight. So some interesting things here we're going to be talking about today for sure. I'm going to be talking about, is the box worth it? Should you invest into it? Is there going to be any meta possible decks from this? We're going to go into a little bit of this and that. We're going to actually skip the normal rarity cards this time around just to save some time because it is pretty late at night. So I'm going to be covering the 9 UR, the 11 SR, and then the 28 rares. The rares will probably skim around a lot because the main focus, of course, people love to know more about the UR and SRs. All that good stuff. Yo, what's up, Wisepre? What's going on, man? What's up, Robert? What's up, Amaterasu? I thought your last video was a review. No. No, we always do it like this. So let's just go open up the first UR. We'll just leave that set there for a moment. Wait for a couple more people to join in. And then we'll start the review. What's up, Plug? What's up, Cody? Is Endless Trap Hell good for Gladiator Beast and High? It can be Amaterasu. That or Balance, I feel, is a really good skill for Glad Beast for sure. A lot of you probably thought I was dead and didn't play Duel Links because I made like 5 or 6 Epic 7 videos in a row. Can't help it, that game's amazing. Yo, what's up, Virtuous? Yeah, I'd say Balance because you could run 8 Glad Beasts, 6 back row, 6 spells. Like, you could run Super Rush Headlong, which would be really good for Glad Beasts, to be honest. 9.8k gems. Woo, I'm almost at max, guys. Well, good job, Plug. Good job, man. Nice. I was using UAs. All right, well, anyways, let's get into the review. So, as you guys know, if you've been here for a while on the channel, when I do these reviews every month in the full detail, I will probably ignore the chat for the most part until I am done with one phase of the review. And what I mean by phase, that means I will take a quick 2-minute break after I review the URs, and then I'll kind of skim through some of your guys' messages, answer a couple questions, and then I'll jump into the SRs, and then we'll take a break, do it again, and then we'll skim through the rares, and then we'll have our closing statements, and then get out of here. So that is how the reviews work. So guys, I will see you in the chat right after I cover the URs. So let's get into it. So I'm not gonna talk about Blackwing Dragon. We already know about Blackwing Dragon. Probably the worst signer Ace Dragon synchro in the game. Just bad. Not really that great, honestly. Let's just So moving on. So this is what a lot of people are after. This is what a lot of people are hyped about. They're excited about Blackwings. Are Blackwings going to be good? Are they going to be meta? Are they going to come in and crush the meta? Are they just, they're a favorite archetype within 5D's anime. They're a fan favorite, right? They're what put Crow on the map, right? Well, we'll see if they're good here. So we got Blackwing, Bora the Spear, 4-star Dark Attribute, Wing Beast effect, 1700 attack, 800 defense. If you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing, Bora the Spear, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So he's a 1700 beat stick that allows you to have the possibility of swarming, which could of course set up for your synchro summoning, which this deck will greatly need. So swarming is definitely a big thing when it comes to Blackwings. All right, let's go to the next one. Reptilian Vasky. Reptile effect. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by attributing 2 face-up monsters with 0 attack from anywhere on the field. So could be pretty good with tokens. Once per turn, you can select and destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. There can only be 1 face-up Reptilian Visky on the field. 2600 attack, 0 defense. The fact that this card has no protection for itself does not sit well with me. You know, being able to nuke the field, you know, that's always a cool effect. But what is its protection? It does not have any. Now, it may have protection with other cards that we talk about in today's review. But for this card by itself, for what it can do, not that good, especially for a UR in a main box. I mean, dang. I mean, it already has a steep requirement for summoning, which, like I said, you know, tokens could be one alternative. But the fact that it has 0 attack, it could be put into a defense position easily with a Canadia or with an Econ, and it's just going to get ran over with no defense. And the 2600 attack really is not all that high anyway for a monster with said requirements to even be summoned in the first place. I'm just not really a fan of that card. But I'll see what you guys say about that when we're done with the URs. But for a UR and a main box 2018, I'm not feeling it. Breaker the Magical Warrior, 4-star dark attribute. Now this card is good, and we're going to talk about why. Spellcaster effect. If this card is normal summoned, place 1 spell counter on it, max 1. This card gains 300 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove 1 spell counter from this card, then target 1 spell trap card on the field, destroy that target. So what's interesting about this is this card is instant back row removal. You summon it, and then you can just instantly do something with at least 1 back row of your opponent, which could be very clutch. You could run this in a spellbook deck, honestly, because that deck runs nothing but spells anyway that take out back row and take out monsters because of Fate. So having a spellcaster that can work with Fate and is protected thanks to Fate, you now have a means to really just deal with 2 cards in a turn instead of 1. So Breaker the Magical Warrior inside of a spellbook deck could be absolutely disgusting. And 1600 attack is a lot better than Blue Boy at 500. So I ask you guys, do you risk maybe taking out Blue Boy, or maybe cutting Blue Boy down to 2 and running 2 Breaker the Magical Warrior, or maybe just 3 of them instead, and maybe cut down on your Silent Magician to maybe 1 or 2? That way, you got a little bit more versatility. You got a little bit of attack power on the field. You got some more back row removal that can also be work in tangent and synergy with Fate. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because it could be a pretty good card to run. Hell, you could take Blue Boy out of the deck altogether, sacrificing, of course, 1 draw of a spellbook card. But you could take them out, run Breaker the Magical Warrior, run the other 4-star spellbook and Silent, and then you could play Breaker, nuke a back row, and then summon Silent over top of them, especially if he gets hit with like a Canadian or something or a Floodgate. And then you're in business, because now you're making your opponent use a lot of resources while still having, you know, resources of your own, and you have plans for, you know, the turns following. So, Breaker the Magical Warrior could be pretty tilty. We'll see. Pretty good UR right there. All right, so now we got Dark Horse. This has already been in the game. This was in one of the selection boxes, so we've already talked about this before. Nothing really special here. All right, our first Synchro UR here in the box. Well, besides Blackwing Dragon, but we're not going to talk about that because that doesn't exist. Shh, keep that low key. So we got a Drag Unity Knight, Vagina. I mean, Vadra. Dragon Synchro effect, 1900 attack, 1200 defense, 1 Dragon type monster, 1 Dragon type tuner, and 1 or more non-tuner Wing Beast type monster. So, crossbreeding, baby. Yeah, the power of science. When this card is Synchro summoned, you could target 1 level 3 or lower Dragon type Dragon Unity monster in your graveyard. Equip that target to this card. Once per turn, you can send 1 card equipped to this card to the graveyard, double the attack until the end phase. So it's good, it's decent, but I have no confidence in Synchros in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I do not have any confidence in Synchros at all. Konami has not given me a reason to have any confidence in Synchro summoning because of the fact that we have Floodgates and Canadians, which are a problem for almost a lot of things in a deck that require a lot of resource investment to get to the field. I just don't like starting my duel with 4 cards in my hand and potentially using 3 or 4 of those cards to set up for a Synchro play just for my opponent to use 1 card to shut everything down. So this is going to go. This is going to be an ongoing theme within this review, where I'm going to constantly bring up the fact that Konami kind of hurt synchros before synchros were even released in the game. So unless we get some really, really huge nerfs to certain cards like Floodgate, Walla D, Canadia, you know, are they going to hit those cards, semi-limit them? That way synchros can actually thrive or at least be reasonably useful in the game? I don't know. We'll see. But anything that revolves around heavy synchro usage right now, I just don't feel it's going to be good in Duel Links until some of those adjustments are made, or until we get some amazing tuners that are worth their weight within your deck. So we'll see. But still a good card nonetheless. It's just unfortunately, I have no confidence in synchros in Duel Links at this moment. Not until things change. So let's keep going. Black Whirlwind, continuous spell card. When a Blackwing monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, you can add one Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand with less attack than that monster. So, you know, instant draw power. You know, again, Blackwings are built around the swarming and being able to grab cards and add them to your hand and then use them to bring to the field, etc., etc. That's kind of how they work. And then they try to get their synchros out as fast as possible because their synchros are where Blackwing's power truly lies, at least with the cards that we're getting in this box. So, it's good draw power, but it is a continuous spell, and as you guys know, continuous spell and traps don't usually do so well in Duel Links because we have a lot of cards in the game, such as Galaxy Cyclone, which would deal with this after being used to destroy a set card from the graveyard. And then you also have cards like Cosmic Cyclone, which are also heavily featured in the meta for the past several months, which will also just deal with that card. And the fact that you're only running with 3 back row spaces to begin with, and this is going to, of course, you know, yeah, it's going to mess you up a little bit because now you're going to be working with 2 back rows the rest of the duel. I don't know. Is it worthy of a UR? No. To me, no. SR, maybe, sure. I can live with an SR, but UR, absolutely not. Now, this is arguably one of the best cards in the entire box and worth getting 2 or 3 of, absolutely, because this card is very versatile. It can be used in an assortment of things as long as you're running, of course, a Dragon-type tuner with 1,000 or less attack. But the instant draw power is very good, and there are a couple decks that can use this. And funny enough, one of the cards that you can use is featured in the card art, which is, of course, Whitestone of Legend. You can use it with Whitestone of Legend. If we ever get Whitestone of Ancients, which would be great, you could use it with that as well. You can even use this in a Buster Blader deck. So with Whelp, so there's some options there. So that's pretty cool. And you could even probably run this in a Blackwing deck loosely. It would really depend if you want to throw in a couple of Dragon 2-star tuners or whatever and, you know, go from there. So very cool card. Could be good. Could help a little bit with the Blue Eyes brick and with the Buster Blader bricks. Could be a really cool card. Maybe tech in 1 or 2, and you should be good. I don't think you need to go for 3 of this card, guys. Honestly, I think 3 is way too much. Go for 2, and you should be fine if you are going to go into the box. Very good you are, though. This card is one of the few cards in this box that I truly feel is at least worthy of its rating. So, good job there, Konami. All right, Sakuretsu Armor. We already know this card, this beast. This card is featured in the anime. This card is amazing. Joey Wheeler, love to use this with his Red Eyes Black Dragon. They even featured this a long time ago in Duel Links. So very, very good card. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster and destroy that target. Now, why is this card very powerful for Duel Links? Well, there's a skill called Balance, and there's a card in the game called Widespread Ruin. If you run 3 Sakuretsu Armor with 3 Widespread Ruin and Balance, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You've guessed it. You're getting instant monster destruction back row at the start of the duel 100% of the time. You're welcome. You are welcome. Welcome to Tilt City. Because that's exactly how people are probably going to play this card. Is they're going to play it alongside Widespread Ruin with Balance. And it's going to be tilty as fuck. Alright, we are now in the SR. So I could take a moment here to look over some of the messages before we continue through the SRs. Let's see. Top 5 card right there. Wow, Iron Chin Dragon is very cheap in the TCG. Oh, you guys are just all over the place. We should have never gotten battle position changing spell traps or monster destruction spell traps until the actual monsters with good protection got released. You know, you're right, Vinny, honestly, but, you know, Konami don't care. Duel Links has bad synchros. They do indeed. Floodgate were always annoying in Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see here. I really hope Dragon Unity does well. It was my first real deck. I'm hyped for it. Well, we're going to see, Vert. We're going to see. That's oddly specific for a tuner requirement. Yep. Bro, talk about Dragon Unity and Cyber Dart combo. Yeah, I mean, it could work on Amaterasu. It is possible. It is possible. Dang it, internet lag. My internet's bad right now. I love you. Well, I love you too, Wolf. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's gonna be in the game, man. It's gonna be crazy. Why is this card an SR? Oh, Plug, we're gonna get to this card in a moment, bro. Do you think it is worth to spend gems on it? Ali, I will be giving you guys my final comments and statement on the box and what I think I would personally do with this box at the end of the review. So just stick around for that. If you want my final thoughts on if you should go into this box or not, stick around until the end. All 2K must be SR. The same reason Battle Ox is a UR. Give us Trade-In and Sage with Eyes of Blue so Blue Eyes can really pop. Yeah, there you go, Quentin. That's right. Wing Beast Vanilla 2000 beater. All right, guys, so let's go into the SRs now. You guys are having fun in the comment section. I'm glad you're having fun. All right, so here we go. Phantom Griffin, a 4-star 2000 attack beat stick with 0 defense, and this card will probably never see play in the history of anything because it is worthless. When was the last time vanillas were useful in Duel Links? Hold on. Let me get a time machine because I'm going to have to go way back. We're going to have to go all the way back to when Harpy's Hunting Ground was worth a damn. That's how far back we have to go for when vanillas were useful in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. That was, I believe, spring of 2017. I believe it was right before 3-star Emotion dropped in the game for the first time during the KC Cup, or it was the World Championship qualifiers. I mean, that's what it was, yes. So, yeah, it's been a long damn time. Because we had a fairy build with normals to just completely go through crazy draw power. We had a vanilla dino meta when the game first dropped. And then we had Harpy's Hunting Ground for, you know, for a few months, and then that was it. Goodbye normal vanilla meta. We've been pretty much 99.9% effect monsters with crazy good skills and a lot of back row ever since. So yeah, it's just a 2K beat stick. I mean, it'll be good for an auto duel deck against standard duelist. That's what this card will be good for. So there you go. If you guys need to beat up them level 57 standard duelists, you ain't grinding until you got Phantom Griffin in your deck. So let's move on. All right. Yeah, dinos were so much fun. Absolutely. Blue Eyes, Scotty, come on now. We know damn well Blue Eyes needs all kinds of stuff. Can't really consider that a vanilla deck. Come on now. Blackwing Shura, the Blue Flame. 4-star dark attribute, 1800 attack, 1200 defense, winged beast effect. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon one Blackwing monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck, but its effects are negated. So again, continuing with the swarm factor. I'm not too sure why this Blackwing is an SR and the other one's a UR. They're really not all that much different in the mechanic that they're trying to basically create for you on the field. Very weird. I mean, I understand that you are negating the effect of the other one, but really you're just trying to swarm to get your synchros out in the first place. So I really don't know. But nonetheless, again, it supports the swarming mechanic, which is what you need to get them synchros out ASAP. Hey, look, guys, we got a broken card. Is this a Masingo? Did somebody get a Masingo in Duel Links? Uh-oh. There it goes. Ducks was ducking us. That was a bad pun, but hey, there we go. So, Drag Unity Ducks. You cheeky bastard. All right. 4-star Wind Attribute, Wing Beast effect, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. This card gains 200 attack for each face-up Dragon Unity card you control. When this card is normal summon, you can select one level 3 or lower Dragon type Dragon Unity monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card. So it really doesn't do too much on its own. You know, it's there to set up for your combos with the Dragon Unity. So it's still okay, but stat-wise, it's pretty low. And its mechanic could be a little bit slow for Duel Links. We'll have to see on its own. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's keep going. We've got to put all these cards together. All right. Dragon Tuner effect. 2-star. 500 attack. 1100 defense. So it'll work with cards of consonants. It is an SR as well. Wing attribute. Once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster as an equipped card by a card effect, you can special summon this card. So that's going to allow you to set up for your Dragon Unity Synchros. So you guys are starting to see the trend here with Dragon Unity and with Black Wings. They both want to swarm. They both want to get their Synchros out as soon as possible. But I've already told you earlier in the video why I just don't feel that's going to be all that great in this game at the moment because of all the cards in the game that just do not like Synchros to be on the field at all. And they get rid of them pretty quickly. So I don't know. Just Synchro metas right now just do not seem great. Harpy's Queen. This card was used by Elegant Mai twice. Finally it came. A little late, but it's here. So 4-star Wing Attribute, Harpy's Queen, Wing Beast effect, 1900 attack, 1200 defense. You can discard this card to the graveyard, add 1 Harpy's Hunting Ground from your deck to your hand. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while it is on the field or in the graveyard. So there you go, Harpy's Queen. Now this is a card a lot of Bujin players are very excited about. They got Bujinji Crane, 4-star Light Attribute, SR Beast, Wing Beast effect, 1600 attack, 300 defense. During damage calculation in either player's turn, if a Beast Warrior type Bujin monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. The attack of your monster becomes double its original attack during the damage calculation only. This card is going to be disgusting, and this is one of my personal favorite cards in this entire box. This card has a lot of value because it is basically a hand trap, and I love it. And it can play quick. You can boost up your monsters. It can be unexpected by your opponent. They may think it's a Karibo, and then boom, you pop out a Crane, and they're like, holy shit, what just happened? And this even allows you to get over a Blue Eyes or even a Cosmo Brain. So there you go, Bujins, baby. Let's go. So Bujins are back on the map. Let's go. All right, gigantic stuff. I always want to call it gigantic syphilis, but it's Cephalotus. We've already had this in the game before. This is from a selection box, so we're not going to talk too much about it, but the name is always funny and it looks like shit. All right, Black Wing, Armed Wing. Here we go. Dark Attribute, Wing Beast, Synchro Effect, 2300 attack, 1000 defense, 1 Black Wing Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monster. If this card attacks a defense position monster, it gains 500 attack during the damage step only. Also inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. So it just basically boosts itself up to 2800 attack, and really it does nothing else special besides that. So not really too much to talk about there. Again, guys, Synchros and Duel Links right now, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Dragon Unity Knight, Guy Deerge, Dragon Synchro Effect, 2400 attack, 800 defense. It is a Wind Attribute. 1 Dragon type Tuner plus 1 or more Tuner Winged Beast type. Non-Tuner Winged Beast, I'm sorry. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Dragon type or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Then discard 1 Dragon type or Winged Beast type monster. So, there you go. Again, though, I'm just not too high on none of these Synchros at the moment. Like I said, if Konami makes some big, major changes to how we're running back rows right now, then yes, I would love for Synchros to actually flourish a little bit and get a little bit of love. But right now, outside of like Stardust Dragon and the occasional Azure Eyes, Synchros are just not doing anything right now, and I don't see that changing with the new Synchros we're getting today, not with the current meta. Maybe if we get additional nerfs to back row, then maybe it could be a thing. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Maybe the upcoming KC Cup will make Konami see the light. Yo, thanks so much for that subscription. Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn that down. So I do apologize if somebody's ears were just annihilated. So Harpy's Hunting Ground is now an SR in a box. Yup, still waiting on Necro Valley and Gravekeeper support. But hey, why not give my not only Amazona support with Onslaught, we're now getting Harpy support with Harpy's Hunting Ground, but we still don't got Gravekeeper support. Sorry for that little rant, but it just still tilts me till this day that we've got no goddamn Gravekeeper support. Anyway, let's go. All winged beast type monsters gain 200 attack and defense when any Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady sisters are normal summoned or special summoned. The player who conducted the summon targets one spell or trap card on field, destroys that target. How useful this card will be in 2018? Not so much. It won't be nearly as good as it was in 2017 because, well, a lot of decks in the game already do what Harpy's Hunting Ground does, but better. So, yeah, not so hyped anymore. If this card would have released 8-9 months ago, people would have been jumping into this box just for this card alone, especially with Harpy's Queen. But now, ending 2018, going to 2019, no, not so much. Not so much. All right, Soul Release. This card was in a selection box as well. Target up to 5 cards in the graveyard, banish them. Nothing special there. This card was already here in the game, so we're going to go through it. Now, we are finally at the rares, so time for another quick commercial break. I'm just kidding. There's no commercial, but we are going to take a quick 2-minute break to read the chat. So let's see here. We get gems from boxes. We get 500 plug. We get a whole whopping 500, bro. When does the box drop? It drops, I believe, on Monday, which would be tomorrow for me. So, yes. Actually, it might. Yeah, I think that's when. Yep. Back row is easily stopped, especially now. Yep, absolutely extreme. No doubt about it. Gravekeepers will never see the light of day. I'm starting to believe it, Vert. I'm starting to believe it. 30 card my decks. Man. Plus Harpy's going to get eaten by Blue Eyes. Harpies will just get wrecked by everything right now in the meta, honestly. Yep. Dragon Unities are amazing already. Tested at Duel Links, built on Devs Pro, really good. I don't know, man. I'm still not seeing it on when you include skills and you include people running all that back row, like Widespread Ruin. They're running Canadia. They're running Floodgate. They're running Wall of D. You know, I'm just not seeing the Drag Unity or the Blackwings being able to really deal with that consistently. Harpies can beat Gladiator Beast. Scotty, honestly. He had to search for the one meta that they can beat. All right. Look out for Tier 1 Spirit. If I get any cards that was in the selection box, I will lose my shit because, excuse my language. You're good, Vert. You're good. But will you collab with Watt 007? I talk to Watt all the time. What do you mean, Wolf? What do you mean? What kind of collab? What are you talking about? Dark Magician can be Blue Eyes. Too bad Glad Beasts aren't meta anymore. I don't know why, Spree. They're really making a big comeback right now because of Onslaught being nerfed so hard. The real problem is how to get over Blue Eyes. Make Cyber Angels great again. Oh, boy. Blackwings, another archetype that are missing key cards to be good. Yep, that's exactly my point, Jameson. Just they're missing too much, and there's too much hate on Synchros right now. They should make deck a little bigger, then Harpies could be good. If they would bump cards up to 30, decks up to 30 rather, instead of 20, a lot more decks would flourish. Because the problem is, it's not that the decks are all missing so much support that they may not be good. It's the fact that when you run a 20-card deck and 8 to 10 of your cards are just powerful traps, the player that you're playing against is going to draw into those endgame cards extremely early, not giving you any time to set up your own board or to get into more complex and advanced combos. So the fact that the game is 20 cards and only 4,000 life points, it really hurts even powerful decks. There could be powerful decks that's in the TCG that may not be very good at all in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links because of the fact that some of those decks require a little bit of board control and a little bit of setup, and you just don't have time to do that in Duel Links because, the low life points and a low card pool. Or deck size, sorry. But anyways, let's start talking about some of these rares. We're going to quickly just briefly go through some of these. So, Blackwing Tornado, the reverse wind, 4-star dark attribute, wing beast effect, 1000 attack, 1200 defense. When this card is normal summoned while your opponent controls a special summon monster, which will actually happen more often than you think because we have a lot of special summoning mechanics going on right now in the meta. You can target one Blackwing tuner in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Blackwing monsters. Also, special summon this monster, but its effects are negated. So again, with the whole gimmick, Blackwings love to swarm. You know, they just love to swarm. All right, let's go to the next one. Blackwing Gladius, the Midnight Sun. I just love that name. 3-star, dark attribute, wing beast, effect, 800 attack, 1500 defense. If only the face of monster you control is a one Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Gladius, the Midnight Sun, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. That, funny enough, okay, hold on, guys. Here's something funny for you guys to think about. The fact that this card cannot be destroyed by battle once per turn makes this Blackwing monster have one of the better effects of all the Blackwing monsters released in this box set. And it is a 3-star rare. Yes, a 3-star rare. Because the fact that this card can actually protect itself at least once per turn is good. Because it allows you to have some kind of board presence at least. And the other Blackwings don't really offer that. They offer you the same mechanic of special summoning, but they don't offer any kind of self-built-in protection. So if they're dealt with quickly, they're dealt with. They're gone. You're not getting those resources back. At least with this, you got at least a little bit of somewhat of protection for itself, even though it is really low attack and defense really isn't that great either. But hey, it's something, and it's from a rare and not one of the URs or the SRs. So it's kind of weird. It's just very weird. Just something to think about. Some food for thought. All right. Blackwing, Gust the Backblast. Ugh, I've said that wrong twice now. 2-star, I almost said Black Attribute. Dark Attribute, 2-star, Wing Beast effect, 900 attack, 1400 defense. If you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the opponent's monster attacks a Blackwing monster you control, the attacking monster loses 300 attack during the damage step only. So, just another gimmicky card, and it's another card that's built for special summoning with the Blackwings. Alright, Blackwing, Harmattan, the Dust. I feel like this card is a little bit underrated. Could be pretty good, low-key. Could be one of the better Blackwings from the box set, to be honest. 2-star, Dark Attribute, Wing Beast effect. If you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing, Harmattan, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Harmattan or Harmattan or Harmattan or I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to call it Harm. You can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Blackwing, Harm, the Dust once per turn this way. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one other Blackwing monster you control. Increase this card's level by that monster. So this card could be low-key one of the better ones you would run in the deck. Maybe run 1 or 2 of this card as a good little solid tech in, because that effect is actually not too bad, and it also sets you up for some really good spicy synchro summoning plays. But again, I still don't have any confidence in the Blackwing deck from what we're getting from this box. But, you know, if we ever get more support down the road, this card is definitely going to be a really good one, especially if we get even higher level Blackwing monsters for the synchros. Could be really, really good. So, not bad. Don't sleep on Harms here. Don't sleep on that boy. All right, Blackwing Kogarashi, the Wanderer. Awesome name. I like it. Dark Attribute, Wing Beast, Tuner effect. So this is one of our highest level tuners we have in the game. Actually, I think this is the highest level tuner we have in the game when it drops. When a face of Blackwing monster you control destroys or is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. When a monster is synchro summoned using this card as a synchro material, the opponent of this card's owner cannot activate cards or effects. So, very powerful if you get it off. It's very situational. But if you do, for whatever reason, get this off into a synchro summon, you can really do some damage. That it actually finally gives your synchro some good justification to be used with all those resources you're going to be giving away to bring it out. So, good in that regard, but situational, yes. How often we get it off? I don't know. Probably not as much as we'd probably want to. But still, not a bad card nonetheless, especially for a rare. Alright, Blackwing Breeze the Zephyr. 3-star Dark Attribute. Wing Beast, tuner effect, 1,100 attack, 300 defense. If this card is added from your deck to your hand by a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. It cannot be used as a synchro material, except for the synchro summon of a Black Wing monster. So, tuners, man, just they're bad tuners. That's the problem. Black Wing, Mistral, the Silver Shield, 2-star, Dark Attribute, 100 attack, 1,800 defense. At least this one has some good modest defense for a 2-star tuner. If this card is on the field, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, reduce the next battle damage you would take this turn to 0. So, actually, not too bad of a tuner. Actually, not too bad. Not too bad. He's decent. He's not good. He's decent. All right, Drag Unity, Arma, Missiles, Miss Latane, I don't know. Anyway, Wing Attribute, Dragon Effect, 2,100 attack, 1,500 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one face-up Drag Unity monster you control to the graveyard. When this card is normal special summoned from your hand, you can select one Dragon-type Drag Unity monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card. So, there you go. The more equipping, and equipping. So that is why a lot of people think that running Drag Unity with Cyberdarks could be a very good combo, which it may very well be. That might be the way that Drag Unity actually makes its way somewhat into the meta when this box says drop. They might actually be pretty decent with Cyberdarks because a lot of people actually don't even know this yet, but Cyberdarks are actually pretty low-key decent in the game right now. They're not overpowered. They're not going to completely just destroy the meta or just be complete game changers, especially without not getting their field spell because Konami are retarded. But nonetheless, they are still a very good deck, especially if you have Langling that you can sack off and keep using for that double damage output, and it can be equipped as well because it's a Union Dragon. So, you know, the combinations with Drag Unity and Cyberdarks are there. It could be really good, but the problem is, could it also be a little bit of a clusterfuck by running so many different things into one deck and trying to compact it into a 20-card build? Even if you run a 30-card build running three copies of Grass is Greener, you're just running a big clusterfuck of cards, and that could cause for some inconsistencies. So we'll have to see what the optimal build's going to be, but it could be a thing. So, you know, there is hope for that. I have no hope for Black Wings. I have zero. Just spoiler alert right there. I have no hope for Black Wings. But Drag Unity, at the very least, could be a thing. So we'll see. Stay tuned. All right. Drag Unity, Atlas, 2-star, Wind Attribute, Dragon, Tuner Effect, 1,000 attack, 800 defense. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one Drag Unity monster from your hand, then equip it with this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, select one card on the field and destroy it. So this is a very good combo piece with the Drag Unity. Drag Unity is low-key pretty free-to-play friendly from this box if you go into it hard enough, because a lot of the good cards are actually the rares. So it's not too expensive. You know, there is a little bit of a higher tier cards in here, but some of the better ones are actually the rares. So it's not too bad. It's a good, you can make a pretty good budget build of Drag Unity, especially if you combine it with Cyberdarks like we already mentioned. So could be interesting. And doesn't that thing remind you of like a baby Slate for the Sky Dragon or something? Very interesting. All right. Drag Unity, Partisan, 2-star, 1 attribute, another Dragon Tuner effect, 1,200 attack, 800 defense. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one Winged Beast type Drag Unity monster from your hand. Then equip it with this card. When this card is equipped to a monster, that monster is treated as a tuner monster. And you guys are starting to see how they work with Cyberdarks, because there's a lot of 3-star or less Dragon tuners in here that can equip. So, boom. Let's go. Reptilian, Gardna, 4-star, Water Attribute. Set. Here we go. So, when this card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, add one Reptilian monster from your deck to your hand. So, other than it being a nice little 2,000 defensive tank, it's not all that great. I think Reptilians, I think a lot of people that were complaining about this was because Reptilian, much like Black Wings, were not getting their proper support. So, you know, it's just another one of those problems that Konami loves to do, where they give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but they never give you enough to make it good. So we always have to keep waiting or keep diving into boxes. That's how they milk you, unfortunately. But we got Reptilian, Medusa, looking ugly AF. Reptile effect. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard and select one face of monster your opponent controls. The attack of the selected monster becomes 0, and it cannot change its battle position. It's 2200 attack, 800 defense. This card, it's interesting. It's only a single tribute, so that to me makes it okay. If this was a double tribute with just a hair more attack, I don't think it would be as good. I think the single tribute for this, with what its effect is, works well for it. It's not too bad either. I mean, I like it. It's okay. It's cool. It's a cool little gimmick card. It's not anything amazing, but yeah, it could be pretty. It could be a pretty funny meme card though, for sure. You could potentially ruin somebody's day with this card for sure. I could see it. I could see it. Reptilian Viper. I love this card. It's like a chibi cobra. If they make chibi cobras, that's what a chibi cobra would look like. I'm not really a fan of the hands though. I think it would look cooler without no hands at all, because its hands makes me feel like if you look at it, like if you squint and look at it from far away, it looks like a deformed Ojama, and I'm not down with that. If they would have took the arms off of it, it would have looked perfect. It would have been a nice chibi little cobra, but no. They had to ruin it and put Ojama Green's arms on it. I'm not a fan of the arms. Why, Konami? Why do you got to ruin things? 2-star Reptile Tuner effect. When this card is normal summon, you can select and take control of one face of monster with a 0 attack your opponent controls. So that's kind of how you know, that's the combo. Reptilian Medusa, Viper. You see the combo? Medusa, Viper. Boom. There you go. Gladiator Beast, Sam Knight. Looking like a beast, because that is indeed what he is. Earth Attribute, 3-star, Beast Effect, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. He's got a paragraph effect. Let's just skip it. I'm just kidding. We'll read it. If this card was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can add one Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand. At the end of the battle phase, if this card attacked or was attacked, you can return it, and then you can do all the shenanigans that Glad Beasts are known for doing, tagging out. All right, moving along. Gladiator Beast, Hoplomys. Why couldn't they just call it Gladiator Beast Rhino? Just why? Why? Or just for the lulz, call it Gladiator Beast Horny. Let's keep this PG-13. All right. So we got an Earth Attribute, 4-star, Rock Effect, 700 attack, 2100 defense, so it's got some good defensive stats. If this card was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, its original defense becomes 2400. At the end of the battle phase, if this card attacked or was attacked, you can shuffle it into the deck. Special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, except Gladiator Beast Hoplomys. Now, honestly, this card would not be bad in a Gladiator Dick. Yep. See, we're going from horny to dick. It's already going downhill from here. It's already going downhill from here. We must be bowling because we're going straight to the gutter. Anywho, so you could run this as a one-of in a Glad Beast deck, and it actually would not be that bad because it's a really good defensive card. And Glad Beasts are really known for having really low defense. So having a surprise Glad Beast with 2100 defense set and your opponent doesn't expect it could be really cool, because you might not even have to use all of your resources in your back row to protect it. They might just crash into it, and then you get his effect off, and then boom, now you're in business, right? So, hey, running one of him may not be that bad of an option. Not too shabby. Izanagi? Are we in Naruto? I'm just playing. Fairy Effect, 2200 attack, 1000 defense. It's a fairy, and it's a rare. It has to be bad, right? Because it's Konami. I'm just... I'm taking the piss out of fairies just being very historically bad in Duel Links for the past 2 years, sadly. You can special summon this card from your hand by removing from play one spirit monster from your hand. Spirit monsters you control do not have to have their effects that return them to the hand activated. This would have been a great addition to spirit monsters a year ago, Konami. A year ago. Now this card is way too slow and too situational, and will probably just get obliterated. But if you would have released this a year ago, spirits could have been on the map, baby. People would be haunted by spirits all day by Izanagi. But no, you released it too late, so we won't be haunted this time around. And Halloween's already come and gone, so we're good. It's Christmas time. It's time to be jolly. Garuda the Wind Spirit, 4-star, Wind Attribute, Wind Beast, effect, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. This card cannot be normal summon or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play one winged monster in your graveyard. During your opponent's end phase, you can select one face-up monster your opponent controls and change its battle position. So, you got a monster econ. There you go. Gladiator Beast, Gyodias. Here we go. It's a dinosaur fusion effect. 2600 attack, 1500 defense, dark attribute. Gladiator Beast, Spartacus, and Gladiator Beast monster. So you need, you need 2 Gladiator Beasts, but one of them has to be Spartacus. This monster can only be, my God, could they have made the words any smaller? This card can only be special summoned from your extra deck by returning the above cards you control to the deck. You do not use polymerization. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the defense of the destroyed monster. At the end of the battle phase, you can, of course, tag these out, So, not very good. That one's not too great. All right, Black Wing, Silver Wind, the Ascendant. This is by far probably my favorite Black Wing Synchro in this new box because of its effect, which we'll get into right now. Wing Beast Synchro effect, 2800 attack, 2000 defense, so it's got better attack stats. It's a dark attribute. 1 Black Wing Tuner plus 2 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can only use you can target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field with defense lower than this card's attack. So anything that's 2750 or lower, destroy those targets. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn that you activate this effect. During each of your opponent's turns, the first Blackwing monster you control that would be destroyed by battle is not destroyed. So this is by far my personal favorite Blackwing monster synchro in this entire box. This should have been the UR. This should have been the SR. Whatever. This is just, I feel like this is the more superior Blackwing monster in the box because it has versatility, it has really good attack stats, it has monster destruction, and it has your monster protection for your entire field, basically. So very, 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 very good card. Now, of course, why it's probably a rare is the fact that it's a higher level monster, so of course it has a higher stipulation to be summoned. But in a Blackwing deck, which is completely built around special summoning monsters and swarming the field, it's not as hard to summon as you might think. So honestly, I feel like that is definitely by far the best Blackwing synchro in the box. But that's just my opinion. Alright, Drag Unity Knight, Guy Bulge. This man's got a bulge, so watch out, ladies. Okay, Wind Attribute, Dragon Synchro Effect, 2000 attack, 1100 defense. 1 Dragon type tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner Wing Beast type monster. If this card attacks or is attacked during the damage step, you can remove from play 1 only Wing Beast type monster from your graveyard to have this card gain the attack of that monster until the end phase. So you can boost its attack, so pretty cool there. I think we're about almost done with the rares here, guys. We're almost at the finish line. Drag Unity Knight Trident. Another Synchro Wing Attribute, Dragon. Fact, 2400 attack, 1700 defense. 1 Dragon type tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner Wing Beast type monsters. Once per turn, you can send up to 3 cards you control to the graveyard to look at your opponent's extra deck and send an equal number of cards from there to the graveyard. So, very, very cool. You could just completely wreck an Anki deck with that. Yeah! Dragon Unity Knight, Barcha, another Synchro Wing Attribute, Dragon Effect. 2000 attack, 1200 defense, 1 Dragon type tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner Wing Beast type monster. When this card is synchro summoned, you can select any number of Dragon type Drag Unity monsters in your graveyard and equip them to this card. This card gains 300 attack for each Drag Unity card equipped to this card, so you can equip up to 3, obviously because of the back row limitations and duel links, so you could get up to 2900 attack. Alright, Reptilian Hydra, another synchro reptile effect. Dark Attribute, 2100 attack, 1500 defense. 1 Reptilian Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, destroy all face-up monsters with 0 attack. So you'll have to combo that with Medusa beforehand that your opponent controls and draw 1 card for each monster destroyed. So yeah, you'd have to definitely combo that with Hydra. Or Medusa, sorry. Medusa. Cards for black feathers. What about cards for white feathers? You racist. Okay, I'm just playing. Let's keep. Banish 1 black wing monster from your hand. You know, that makes me think, guys. Where's the white wings at? Where's the red wings? And where is the yellow wings? And the, you know what? You cannot special summon during the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 cards for black feathers per turn. All right. All right. You want to meme your opponent, plug? You naughty boy. Drag Unity Divine Lance. If it says divine, it better be divine. Equip only to a Drag Unity monster, gains attack equal to its level times 100. Also, it is unaffected by trap effects. During your main phase, you can equip 1 Dragon type Drag Unity Tuner monster from your deck to the monster equipped with this card. Whew. You can only use this effect of Drag Unity Divine Lance once per turn. That's actually a low-key, really good rare for that deck. Synchro Blast Wave. If you control a Synchro monster, target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Well, that's simple enough. Not. Drag Unity Legion. Continuous trap card. You can activate 1 of these effects, but you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Drag Unity monsters. Target 1 Drag Unity monster card in your spell and trap zone. Special summon in a defense position. Target 1 Drag Unity monster you control. Equip that target with 1 Drag Unity monster from your graveyard. You can only use this effect of Drag Unity Legion once per turn. Alright. Hysteric Party. Continuous trap as well for the Heartbeat engine. Activate this card by discarding 1 card. Switch summon as many copies of Heartbeat Lady as possible from your graveyard. When this face-up card leaves the field, destroy those monsters. Okay. Then we got black. Oh, no, we're done because we're not going to go through all the normals. That would just we've accomplished what we wanted to. So the question a lot of you may be having now that we finally got through all these cards here is the box worth going into? Should I go into the box? Is it worth investing into as a free-to-play or as even maybe a casual spender? Honestly, this box is a hard skip for me. And what I mean by a hard skip is there's things in this box that intrigue me. There's things that make me want to jump into the box and get them. There are a select few cards. I'll point out some of the higher tier personal favorites. I have a few rares that I do enjoy, but some of the higher tiers that I would be chasing if I was going into this box would be Breaker, the Magical Warrior. I would love to have at least 2 or 3 of that. I would also be jumping in here for, of course, Sakuretsu Armor. I would be definitely trying to go for 3 of that. And other than that, and Cards of Continents. I would be trying to go for at least 2 copies of that. So that is it. That's all I would be trying to actually personally go into the box for if I was hunting for the SRs and URs. Other than that, there are some really decent rare cards in here that I wouldn't mind having. You know, now that I think about it, there also is one more SR that I forgot that I'd also would like to have. Crane. I would love to have 2 or 3 copies of Crane because that card could be tilty. It's a nice hand trap for Boojins, and it could really make Boojins very powerful again. They have so many cards for them. I just feel like the game just needs to move to a 30-card format for Boojins to really take off. But nonetheless, that's about all I'd really go into the box for personally. Now, this is just what I'm saying by myself. You guys may want to go into the box for different reasons, but for me personally, those are my hand-picked favorites, and that's why it's a hard skip for me. And what I mean by a hard skip means I most likely won't go into the box. If anybody donates and says, hey, bro, can you go to the box for me? I'd like to see you make this kind of content. Of course, I'll go into the box then. But if I'm going into it for just personal reasons, I probably won't touch this box because I know better. RNG is a bitch, and I know how it goes. And I'm getting really low on gems, and I gotta really invest smart from now on because I'm really hitting that gem wall right now. It's really hitting me hard. So for me personally, I am going to probably skip this box unless, of course, like I said, if any of the other circumstances comes up. But for all other players, depending on your situation, should you go into the box? Is it worth it? Honestly, it's 180 packs. It's a main box. And like I said, Sakuretsu Armor, if you're going for that, you're probably going to go in for it for 3 copies, at least a minimum of 2. So you are going to have to plan to reset. If you only have 5 to 10,000 gems, it probably isn't worth going into this box. If you have 15,000 or more laying around and you're trying to build the Blackwing deck or the Drag Unity deck, possibly. You're probably better off trying to build the Drag Unity deck over the Blackwing deck because it's a lot cheaper and a lot of the cards are rare, so they're a lot easier to pick up multiple copies of through one time around of the box instead of resetting so often. So that's just some variables to consider, but for me personally, I don't think that this box is groundbreaking. I don't think it's going to really affect the meta in a large way. I think there are some cool gimmicky decks. I think there's going to be some cool attacking cards, and definitely Sakuratsu Armor is an amazing trap. Cards of Continents could help current meta decks like Buster Blader and Blue Eyes. So, you know, it's definitely a hard skip for me. You know, because you have an easy skip where you just know the box is trash, skip it. Then you have a hard skip where you kind of like some cards, but you really don't want to test Lady Luck unless you have the resources, which I don't. And, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at personally. So it's really up to you guys at the end of the day, but I'm not gonna BS and bullshit you guys. If you don't feel that any of these decks really are calling your name, if you don't feel extremely lucky, avoid this box set and wait for something that's more meta changing and has more of a more defined deck coming out of it. Maybe the next mini, or maybe just wait for Black Rose Dragon's main box, which I'm assuming we probably will be a main box, and it should be like a couple months from now, maybe, unless Jack's box will release in January with him. So we'll see, but I'm just not seeing the value from this box worth really going into outside of those select few cards that I do enjoy and I would like to have them, but I'm just not going to risk all the gems that I currently have for it because I'm not really trying to build Blackwings or Drag Unity because I just do not see either one of those decks really becoming an amazing threat to the current meta. You know, granted, we see some crazy drastic nerfs in the game soon, but at this current time, no, it's a hard skip for me. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Let me read some of your guys' comments before I get out of here. Let's see it. Now, we need poor wings with all the gem spinning we got to do. Blackwings Rising could have been a better beatdown specifically made for the Blackwing, but if it would have been till the end of opponent's turn, damn it, Konami. The hell are you saying, Econ Impact? Black Rose nuking for everyone. Yeah, I feel like Black Rose might be the box to look into because that might have better. Because Black Rose Dragon already has a really strong deck in the game that can support its archetype, and that, of course, is Sylvan. So if we get anything that can work well with Sylvans and Black Rose Dragon, that box might be a little bit more, you know, worth going into than Blackwings, to be honest. And I know it's a downer to say that because a lot of people were big on Blackwings. They were hyped to see they were in the game, but we just didn't get enough. And Synchros right now are just getting hard tapped too hard by current back row. Until that back row is somehow dealt with in a more consistent manner, we really just can't really rely on a deck that relies on Synchros right now. It's just not going to go well. But, again, if you're a whale, like I always say, if you're going to whale, you're going to whale out anyway. It doesn't matter if the box is good or bad. You're going to get the cards because you're obviously a collector. But if you're a non-collector and you're just trying to be a competitive player, I would say go ahead and skip this box. It's a hard skip, like I said, but, yeah, I would definitely just go ahead and hold on to your gems and wait for something a little bit better. So, there you go. But anyways, guys, so I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys all enjoyed that box review. And yes, I'm still doing Duel Links content, guys. Don't let the Epic 7 content distract you. I'm just enjoying that game a lot, so I wanted to share my passion and throw out a lot of videos at once. So cool your jets, guys. I'm still making Duel Links content. Calm down. But I'm going to get out of here for the night. Hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your Sunday or Monday or Saturday, wherever you're at still and time-wise. And I'll catch you guys later. Hope you all enjoyed the review. If you did and you're watching it later, go ahead and subscribe if you're new as always. Become an Impact Player today. We're touching up, getting near 2,100 members in the Discord, which is awesome. We're getting close to 10,000 subscribers on the channel, which is awesome. And go ahead and also comment below if you guys are not watching live and you're watching it later, and let me know your thoughts on this box. Do you think Blackstorm Rising is decent? Do you think it's a hard skip, an easy skip? Or are you just going to go full out and whale into the box? So let me know and why, and I'll read them later. Until then,